Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I want to take a look at the daily chart again. Not really want to focus on what happened here because we had a series of 1-2 setups. That's not so important for what's happening here at this moment and also what's going to happen in the next bull run. But before we dive deeper into the analysis, first a few words about the sponsor of today's Bitcoin video, Chartprime. Chartprime is a service that provides specific TradingView indicators. There are 5 specific and unique indicators that you can only get through Chartprime if you sign up to one of their plans. These are based on quite complex algorithms and formulas and can be helpful in identifying trade setups, which means they can provide additional signals that could support your trading. Indicators can, for example, also be useful to support Elliott Wave counts to give more confidence. Of course, you don't need to apply Elliott Wave to use Chartprime, and the combination of their indicators alone can provide trade setups and signals as well. They currently offer a 30% limited time discount, so if you are interested in this, check it out. Of course, bear in mind that no indicator works 100% of the time. Here's an example of the Bitcoin chart with one of the range indicators. This indicator combines various indicators in itself, so you can adjust it to your needs, but it basically shows your range resistances, different support resistance levels based on different time frames, and it categorizes them based on their relevance. And this indicator provides you with dynamic support and resistance bands to which the price is reacting. And if you're interested in checking it out, make sure that you use the link in the video description and on their website. You can also read through testimonials and you can join their Discord community, which you can join in case you have any questions about how to use those indicators. Because the next bull run should take us in a third wave into the region, ideally around 125,000 US dollars. That is based on the assumption that this was a wave 1, which peaked in April 21. We take the length of the wave 1 as a possible first measure to get an understanding of the target. And we go to the November low because the bear market low could be in. Now again, at the moment, there is simply nothing that would suggest it. And here we are getting into the region between 1.618 extension and 200% FIB extension, with the ideal target somewhere in the middle there, because the 1.618 is typically the minimum that you would expect for a wave 3, but cryptos, because it's such a young asset class, sometimes they do overshoot it, and the 1.786 FIB extension is certainly not unrealistic, and also the 200% extension within the realm of what's possible in a third wave. Then we should get a fourth and a fifth, and the fifth wave textbook target would be 175k. So I do expect in the next bull run certainly 6 digits for Bitcoin very, very clearly. If we don't get there, I wouldn't even call it really a bull run. So it will be highly, highly interesting. The chart at the moment suggests that we are that we are in a wave 2 correction, that we are in a wave C. Maybe the wave C is already over. So either we are getting close to the end of the bear market, or the bear market is already over. Nobody at this stage can tell you the bear market is in for sure, because this is a highly probable A, B, C pattern which is unfolding here. There is nothing that would currently make this ABC pattern unlikely, and it could very well be that we had a wave 1 here, we had a wave 2 here, we had a wave 3 here, and a wave 4 here with another wave 5 down. I just need to mention that again and again because crypto Twitter is full of the low was already in, the low was already in, and we're going into the next bull run now. While that could certainly be the case, there is currently nothing that would be any, there is no evidence in the price and the structure itself. I've just learned my lessons in the past, and it's always the same thing, right? We want to have evidence, at least on this channel. I mean, you can go to other channels if you like to, but on this channel, we want to be objective. And I tell you what I've learned, from my experience, that yes, surely the low could be in. I've mentioned that countless times, but it also very well has a good chance to make another low. Absolutely. Because if you take a look at the wave count that I've got on the chart here with a wave 2 at around 48.3k, if I draw that to the end and to the low here of the wave 3, the wave 4, I mean, we've really only reached, we haven't even reached the 23.6 FIB extension, 23.6 FIB retracement, which is the first target really what you get for a wave 4. So we did reach it back in August, and therefore it would not even be too unlikely to reach the 29k level, the 38.2 fib level, in a more extended wave 4, which is actually only the ideal target for a fourth wave. So at this stage, there is still downside risk. Okay, so what do we need? Again, just to hammer that into everybody's brain, really. What do we need to confirm that a low is in? Well, the 5 waves off the November low to the upside are a first step. Now, we haven't even got 5 waves. Probably not. Probably not. We can also find a way to count these 5 as complete or nearly complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's the less likely scenario in my view. Yeah. Ideally, what I want, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a first step, but it really only confirms that we are in a C wave, basically. Yeah, the 5 wave move up, the C wave is a 5 wave move. ABC in a wave 4, resulting in another wave down. So what do we need? We need 5 waves up and 3 waves down, because only if we hold wave 2 support when we get 3 waves down, we can say with, great, well, not great confidence, but with decent confidence that probably the bear market is over. And then a few people ask me, when do you get more aggressive in buying? Well, I've been buying BTCs over the last few months already. So DCAing in the bear market, even in the current range. Anybody who doesn't have a position, why not? It's up to you. See, the problem, and I need to say that more generally, a lot of people just sort of ask, what do you do? What do you do? But it's not really about what I'm doing. And you should also not blindly copy anybody. You shouldn't. I try to make people independent thinkers here. And the reason for that is, my trading decision might be completely different to yours. It's not only about, is the market going up or down? No. Trading can be so difficult if you don't know the basics, because people just sort of either they blindly follow others, I have it something, people just take a trade that I take, but it's not really the idea of it, There's also why copy trading doesn't work, because my trading decision might be completely different from yours. Because let's say if I bought BTC at 15.5k and I did buy in that region around 16k or whatever, then surely why do I not take profit? Why would I not take profit now? At least partial. Now, if someone has really only started to accumulate BTC at 22k, you might not want to take profit yet. Okay, so everybody's trading decisions are so much related to so many things. They are related to what's in your portfolio. They are related to, are you leveraged? Are you not leveraged? Do you take spot position futures? What's your monthly income? Because, if you have a full-time job, you don't rely on trading, and you have a decent income, you can ape into stuff at some point, while others who are making income only from trading, for example, need to be really, really spot on with their risk management. So again, you can't just, what I do, it could be completely different to you. It's what it is. Some people might just now start to buy in because maybe they are breakout trading. So there will be people who will buy in if we break above the wave A high, but that's not my strategy. I'm a pullback trader. I trade pullbacks. I like to buy in support zones. I don't try to buy breakouts. Sometimes I do, but most of the time not. So be independent thinkers. And what I do could be completely different to what you're doing. So it is what it is, because eventually your trading decision depends on your previous trading decisions. Very, very important. While someone might be taking profit because it makes sense for them, another person might enter a position because it balances out the portfolio better or whatever. Very important. But what do I do? So I start to take down profits here, because we can fall quite deep now. We can fall into wave 4, and we can even fall in a wave 2. Even without getting this clear 5, I did explain in the previous video, could very well be the wave 5 is already here, and this is now a nice to have. Getting this 4 and 5 is nice to have. What we do now, if we lose the micro support that I'm going to talk about in a minute, I'm watching, do we hold a wave 4 support area or do we hold a wave 2 support area? The wave 2 support area is lower. So we can, even if the bear market low is over, we can fall quite far, either down to maybe 20k in a wave 4, then can still rally in a 5. So I'm going to buy in then to trade the 5. Or if we lose the wave 4 support, we can fall down even lower, I think to 17 or 18k. I will be able to determine that when we break wave 4 support. And So for me, it makes sense to take profits because I bought at quite a good average price, between November, December, January, and even throughout the bear market, and therefore I want to just pay myself a bit, even though I'm not taking everything, right? Of course not, But the point is we can get quite a decent setback. So it's just about shaving something off, the top, to take some profits. And then I will buy again the dip or the next accumulation phase, which will come anyway. Nothing goes up forever. And the risk gets increased, in my opinion, because we never got a decent wave 4. Yeah, they were all very shallow in this move up. So yeah, I can only warn you to follow people who say blindly the bear market low was already in. They could be right. Yeah, they could be right. But it's not only about that. It's about understanding risk reward and understanding the possibilities. And all I'm telling you, yes, they could be right, but the risk is still very much that we come down. And that probability hasn't changed because there's nothing unusual about an ABC structure like that. Yeah, very, very clearly. So just take that and, develop your strategy based on that knowledge. And yeah, and that's where we are. And, again, ideally, I'd like to see here a healthy 4 and a 5. That would be like textbook. That would be ideal. But then we still need to hold the wave 2 support. And buying in more aggressively, I've just taken some profits, so I will start to scale in again in the wave 4 support. Possibly not even with a stop loss, because I don't really care, because I took some profits at around 23.5, 23.7 or something. So buying back lower is fine for me. It's part of the regular DCA plan. And I will be quite aggressive if we see that we hold support in a wave 2. And then I try to catch the falling knife with maybe a bit of a smaller position. And if we then develop a first 1-2 setup on the way higher, I will be quite aggressive. And, that's also when I would consider to use some leverage. But, the longer I'm doing this, the less I'm using leverage anyway. It's, yeah. Okay, so if we take a look here at the 4-hour chart, just the pattern we talked about before already, nothing new really. We broke above or out of this descending wedge throughout the day. I think in the previous video we were still below it. Now that's the first positive reaction to our support area here. Yeah, and this might be a possible 1-2 setup, even though I'm not convinced, because here you have either a 1-2, 1-2 or an ABC. Yeah, this is unfortunately this is not a very clear 5-wave move up, unfortunately. So I would consider this rather, there is still significant risk. Yeah, this is overall you see this as a 3-wave move, and also in here this is not a clear impulse. So and we dropped quite a lot. So I would still consider this being in some kind of a corrective mess maybe, and we might still get this Y wave down. So to put that into context, the idea is that we can still, the preference is still to extend higher in this wave 5 of 3 here. No change to the previous video, what I said. But of course, if we lose support, which is here the 22,900 level, then we need to be watching, do we drop into this wave 4 support that I related to, yeah? Because then we're losing micro support, and if we lose that micro support, it indicates this channel is going to break, and we're going to, the pattern, the 1-2 setup of that wave 5 is going to fail. And then we might have to consider that this wave 5 finished here at the last high, and this wave 3 as well, which is possible. But at the moment I prefer to see it only as the wave 1 of 5 of 3. So as long as we're holding the support, we can still push higher. But it's Saturday, so yeah, you can sometimes get a bit more complex corrections here in these WXY patterns. And here again, WXY, and then we could have, this could still be a part of a B wave triangle, maybe even A, B, C, D, E, whatever, and then the B wave finishes and we come down in C of Y. But this doesn't really matter what kind of subwave count it is. I say that very often as well. If you have to think about a count too much, it probably doesn't give you an edge anyway. And it doesn't matter. It could just be a simple ABC. It doesn't matter. What is important to understand is which fib levels are relevant here based on this count. Yeah, which fib levels. And I gave you the key support zone. Okay, so that's the point. And therefore I also encourage people not to get too fussed about what's the wave count, you know? You can have various competing wave counts here, and in the end, it doesn't give you an edge. So what you need to know is the key support area. What's the pivot point? What's relevant? Yeah, hopefully that was a useful video to you. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.